What's up, guys? It's your girl Jen, and I have a special guest with me today, Mrs. Jazzy. So before we get started on the conversation, which some of you may have seen the flyer, we are going to talk about why men and women cheat. And it's a hot topic. I think it's going to be something that's always talked about because there's not really a definitive answer. And there's so many different perspectives and so many definitions of what people think cheating is. So we're just going to have a little bit of dialogue. And, again, these conversations, I think that I have these conversations so that you can grow, right? And even in these situations, I believe that it is something, an area where you can grow. So without further ado, guys, Miss Jasmine, why don't you tell our audience just a little bit about you?
My name is Jasmine. I'm a 30-year-old single mother, so this is coming from that perspective. I'm a local business owner in Sacramento. I make cakes, and I work for the government.
You guys, she is the best baker. So if you need her services, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Google Business under Berry Cakery Bakery. So bakery, but the cakery, with C instead of a B. So, people get confused, but it's Berry Cakery Bakery on Instagram, Facebook, Google, everywhere.
And she is booked and busy, you guys. So if you need an order, make sure that you hit her up ASAP.
6 weeks. We're 6 weeks booked and busy out here.
So let's hop into this conversation. I'm super excited about this because we have these conversations together all the time. And I really think that having Ms. Jazzy here to have this conversation, I think it's super dope because just the conversation is just, it flows.
Right.
So first, before talking about anything, we want to get to the nitty-gritty part of what is cheating, because I think that so many people consider different things cheating. Like, some people think that when you're flirting, you're cheating.
It really depends on your relationship, what your boundaries are. If I set the boundaries and I say for me, this is cheating. And if you go outside those boundaries, then shit, it's cheating to them. So it's everybody's relationship is specifically or different pretty much. But for me personally, to make it easy so it's not let's clarify this, let's clarify that, because I feel like you could say, okay, well, this X means cheating to me, but there's so many small details that you can kind of wiggle around and still do it. But, you're not supposed to do it. But anyway, for me, it's if you wouldn't do it in front of my face, in front of me, then it's considered cheating. So flirting with a girl, texting with a girl, answering phone calls, just anything. If you would not do it in front of my face without me, swinging on you,
right?
Then it's cheating,
right?
Period, point blank. And I feel like just setting that kind of gets all those little small details, because they know you as a person. They're in a relationship with you, so they know you as a person. So they know if I was to do this in front of Jasmine, she would just smack the hell out of me right now. Are we allowed to cuss?
Yeah,
okay, so she would smack the hell out of me. Smack the hell out of me. So that kind of sets that boundary, and that's just something I wouldn't accept. But that's just me. Everybody has their own standards and boundaries, and some people are in open relationships. Some people, are okay with them doing certain things with other people that they don't consider cheating. And I know some people think oral sex isn't cheating. So it's just the person that you're with, I guess. So I don't think there's no true definition. I think it's really defined by who the person that is going to affect.
Right. And from my perspective, I think that there's two types of cheating. I think there's physically cheating and emotionally cheating. Mm-hmm. If you, let's say, you're in a relationship, right? And you're not getting your emotional needs met from your partner. They're ignoring you. They're not making you feel as appreciated or as wanted, right? You go out and you seek that from other places, sometimes without even knowing, right? Like you're just like, oh, well, you know, we just started having conversation and we just really click and that's just my friend. But in all reality, you're going to that other person for emotional support and you're giving more to that other person emotionally than you are your own partner. And then that opens the doors for physically cheating, right?
Yeah, and I want to just piggyback off that. You know how like when, okay, I don't know if you're really familiar with these situations, but you know how like most people get caught having affairs with like people at work most of the time? Because we spend most of our time at work and at home. And I feel like when you start getting these work husbands and these work wives, that kind of like opens the door to just not being a professional relationship. You guys start getting that emotional connection, that person you can vent to, that person you can hang out with, you know, more as much as you hang out with your partner at home. So I don't know, them work situation, you got to be a construction worker for me. You can't be, damn.
And I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, making genuine connections with people. But before you decide to take those steps with somebody else, you should really reevaluate the relationship that you're in to see if that's something that you want to continue to pursue. Because if you feel a deeper connection with somebody else that you want to pursue, then, I mean, me personally, I would just excuse the relationship that I'm in and just keep it pushing in that direction, right? Because I don't know about everybody else. I don't like to play games and I don't like to mislead people. So if I want to pursue something else, then I'm going to cut off what I got and just continue to pursue something else.
Sometimes it's not even just a deeper connection. It's just a different connection. It's just something you just don't have at home that they find. And it's not like it's a better connection than the connection they have at home. But, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of like teeter-tottering with that one a little bit.
So then with that then, how would you make changes in your relationship, or how would you bring up the conversation about keeping that connection with the partner that you have so that it doesn't lead to something else, so that the partner that you're with is still secure with you?
Well, let me just play the devil's advocate real quick.
Okay.
So let's just say, because nobody is perfect.
Right.
Like, you're never going to find you're perfect. They have every single quality that you're looking for.
Right.
Let's just say you have about 80% of the qualities that person is looking for. They love you. You guys have a great connection. You guys have a great relationship. And he meets somebody that has that 20%. And he gets that 20% from that person. And it's nothing that you could do on your own. It's just not part of who you are as a person. Right. That's not the Jennifer he fell in love with. That he fell in love with the 80%, but maybe he's looking for that 20% and finding it in somebody else, and that ends up developing into like, oh man, I like this 20%, but I like this 80% too, and these two together make my 100 of what I'm looking for. So do you feel like a person should look for everything in a person before they get into a relationship, or try to kind of walk their person through, okay, this 20% I'm kind of missing in my life? Is that something you could provide for me? Is it, you know, I don't really know.
So I think that it's healthy to have outside relationships, and if you're open with your current partner, like, you know, this is my friendship, and as long as there's strict boundaries as to what that other friend brings to the table and what you guys get with each other, I think communication is key. And when you're transparent with the partner that you have, then any other friendship that you develop that's outside of your relationship is okay. Right. I mean, you know, no one's going to have every single thing that you need. And I think it's natural for us to develop friendships with other people, because you're not going to get everything from one whole person.
Yeah, I don't know. If I don't have the 20%, you better find that in a man, like in your homeboy or something. Like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable like with you having female friends like that, because I'm your friend.
Well, and that's where different relationships, where people are different, and it depends on where you are mentally, emotionally, and in your level of maturity, you know. So, and your trust with your partner. So
Yeah.
yeah, makes a huge difference. So what makes a man cheat? I mean, we're obviously not men. However, I think that we've both been cheated on. We have men as friends, men as brothers, cousins, dads, uncles, things like that, right? So what makes a man cheat? And you guys, if you have any kind of input on this, drop some comments in, because this is definitely an interactive conversation, okay? So hop in the comments, let me know what you guys have to say too, because like I said, we're not men. We don't know exactly what the ins and outs are, but what makes a man cheat?
I think variety.
Mm-hmm.
I think that men don't see sex the same way that women do sometimes.
Right.
They don't see it as such an emotional connection as women do, because you could sleep with a man and he'd be like, you just feel like you just gave your entire being to that person. And I feel like a man could have sex with somebody and just really just not give. They could have a sex with a tree if they wanted to, and it's just no, like, they don't need to feel that connection to sleep with a woman. So I feel like over time, you could be the perfect woman. I mean, Beyonce's been cheated on. All these beautiful, gorgeous, perfect cooking every night, back massages, everything. She could be the perfect woman and she could still get cheated on. And I think it's all goes down to they just need a little bit of variety. They're looking for that. I mean, they may not even be looking for it. It just may hop in their lap. Like, they may be at the grocery store, and never, it could happen anywhere. They could just meet somebody off a whim.
Right.
And they're just, curiosity gets the best of them. They want something different, and it may not mean shit to them. They just give into their temptations. And I that's why I feel like most men cheat. I don't think they do it to be malicious. Honestly, I don't feel like they do it to be malicious. I don't think that they go sleep with another woman. This is just an average man. I'm not saying like, fuck niggas, there's nothing like that. But I'm just saying, I think the average man doesn't go like, damn, I really just want to hurt the woman I love. Ooh, I can't wait to hurt her. Ooh, how could I hurt her the most? I don't think they like go in with that mentality. I just think that they just want something different, and they know women don't accept that very much, and they're just gonna be sneaky with it, and they just do it. That's why that's how I feel. I don't know about everybody else, but that's how I feel personally. I just think that they just need a little bit of variety in their life, and that's the reason why they cheat.
I can agree with that. I also think that sometimes men go outside of the home because they don't feel appreciated. Like, they have to be affirmed by a woman. They like to have their ego stroked. You know what I mean? Men need to feel like men. And if they're not getting that from home, if the woman is the dominant one in the relationship, then the man is going to go out and look for somebody who's really just taken back by them. Like, oh my God, you can cut a piece of wood. Oof. Yes. Like, instead of like a woman who you live with, that's all you did. That's all you can contribute. Like, men need to feel appreciated just like women do. So I think in a sense, men need that emotional affirmation too. They need that emotional thing. And yes, Ishmael, I agree. It's a weakness. I think that men have to practice a little bit more self-control than women do. It's a test of their strength when it comes to that, because men are very visual creatures. Men are very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dominant.
Not dominant, but impulsive when it comes to things like that. So if a situation arises and they're there and they're just like, oh, ooh, do I stay? Do I walk away? I just put it in real quick and take it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the situation arises, it's hard for a man to just walk away, right? So men cheat because it's there. It's available. Men cheat because they need to have their ego stroked. They need to know that they still have it. They need to have that variety. They're not ready to be in a committed relationship. I think that when a man stops cheating, because I do believe that men can stop cheating. Mm-hmm. I think that men stop cheating when they found the woman that they're fully committed to, when they're just, when a man knows that he wants to be with someone, he wants to protect that woman. He wants to provide for that woman. He wants to make sure that she's never hurt. And when situations arise, instead of acting on impulse, he thinks about the way that his actions are going to affect the woman, right? So, you know, that's just our perspective on why men cheat. Now, the juicy part. Why do women cheat? And do they really cheat like as much as men?
I think women cheat on, I disagree on the reason why you think men cheat. And I think that's really why women cheat, is a lack of attention, appreciation, like feeling like they're not alone.
Yeah.
Because I know when a woman cheats, it's not.
Well, it's not the feeling of them being alone. Men just need to feel like the
I'm
man
saying for
in the
the
relationship.
But okay. So if that's the case, how come women that are completely submissive to their man, like do everything for them, they don't have to worry about nothing, they still get cheated on?
It's different men. There are different reasons. Some men cheat because they need their ego stroked, or they need to feel appreciated. Like you hear that a lot of times, like women who are at home and her man are constantly arguing, she's nagging all the time, and he goes out and he cheats. Why? Because the other woman makes him feel good about himself or what he's bringing to her table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just different men. Not all of these reasons are the same for each man. I think everybody's different, and there's so many different reasons why. I mean, if we really,
I would say different situations, because you could put a woman in the same situation, vice versa, and she would go cheat. So, like, if she felt like she wasn't appreciated at home, and you know, like you said, where she don't feel like she's the woman, you know, of his house, like she's gonna eventually find that want somewhere else, that need somewhere else.
Some women are so submissive, like, and in that submissiveness, they become dismissive, and they just let anything go, and then the man just cheats because he can.
Yeah, I mean, but he's still getting appreciated at home, and he just takes that opportunity to just do whatever he wants. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like you can make a man feel like he's the king of your world, and he'll still just do what he wants to. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it. So it doesn't matter if you're submissive. A man's going to do what a man wants to do. Doesn't matter what the situation is at home. You can be the best woman. You can be the worst woman. If he wants to cheat, he's going to cheat.
Exactly. And that's really what it all comes down to.
That's really what it is.
I mean, we could sit here and say all day what the reasons are, but they're going to do what they want regardless. So, with the women, why do the women cheat?
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's more with women. I feel like if she just starts cheating, it's just a wrap. Because like, I feel like women are way more emotionally attached to other people. I feel like if she's cheating on the side, it's more likely somebody that she would actually leave you for. Like, leave you for, literally, if the opportunity was presented. But I would say more of just like she doesn't feel appreciated. She doesn't feel like she's wanted. She feels like she's an option. You're cheating, so she's gonna cheat back. Like, I feel like it's those type of situations.
Yeah, I think women definitely have more of an emotional connection when it comes to why they cheat. Women want to be desired. Women want to feel loved. Women want to feel wanted. And when she doesn't, she pulls away. And when she pulls away, she usually seeks that attention from somebody else. And, you know, that's where that emotional thing comes into play, because usually when women cheat, usually, not all the time, when women cheat, it's with somebody that they've known already, or somebody who they've already had sexual relations with. Yeah. Because they have that emotional connection with that person. And I think that's why when women cheat, it hurts men even more, because they know that there's an emotional connection there. Like, okay, well, I don't fully have your heart. I was only fucking this girl because I just needed to bust real quick. But then when a girl messes with the dude, it's like, oh my God, you just gave him your whole heart. So
it's different. I mean, we both of us see sex in a different light. So
yeah, like for me, it's like, I couldn't cheat. I think that sex is such a spiritual thing. Like, it's just it's an exchange of energy. It's just soul ties. It's just something so deep, and half the time I don't even think that men deserve that. So for me to go out and cheat, like, I would feel disgusted with myself, because I've given myself to somebody who was unworthy or undeserving, or, you know, I just couldn't do it without a connection. Yeah. Period. Yeah. So, why women cheat? Now,
Why is different?
we've said that men cheat, but can men cheat and still love you?
Absolutely.
Explain that.
I feel like they could love you to death, run in front of a car to save your life and still cheat on you. I don't know, because like I was saying earlier, I feel like to some men, sex isn't really like a emotional thing. Like
Yeah.
they could just have sex with anything. It's just more of an impulse. Like you were saying, it's more of an impulse than like, they know they shouldn't be doing it. They know it's going to hurt that person if they find out. But I feel like in the moment, they just be like, fuck it. Shit, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I think they just have a nonchalant attitude about it. But, I mean, that's
Right.
not everybody. But, I don't know.
Well,
I feel like they could really love you and cheat on you.
Yeah,
I
and
know
that's what
sad to
I
say, but
what I was saying earlier, like how, like if the opportunity arises, like if a woman is just throwing herself at you, like as a man, it's hard to say no. You could be so in love with your wife, your partner, your girlfriend, whoever it is, and this girl is just like sprawled an eagle and just take me now. And for a lot of guys, that's hard to walk away from.
So let me ask you this. Okay, let's just say you're at a club, right?
Right.
And you got a boyfriend, you got a husband, you got a whatever. And this is just a hypothetical thing. Don't just be thinking this is just who she is. But anyway. So you're at a club, you're drunk. I mean, you are out of your mind. You feeling it, your man's out of town, and you just been talking to this dude all night. Like, just friendly, just on some, because you know when you're drunk, you start getting extra friendly. You want to talk to everybody, hug people, you know, whatever. And you guys, he was like, well, let's just go to IHOP or something. Let me just take you to IHOP, you know, and then take you home or whatever. And then you guys just end up having sex just on some drunk shit. Does that mean you don't love your husband, or that you don't love your boyfriend?
Oh man, I know so many women who have done that, and they're just like crying, crying the next day. Jen, I can't believe I did this.
It's a regrettable action, of course, but does that mean that you do not love your husband or boyfriend?
I don't think that it means that you don't love your husband, but I do think that when you can give into temptation like that as a woman, then your heart isn't fully committed to the relationship that you're in. And because for me, even when I am drunk, like it's like, even if I'm drunk, I might laugh a little bit more with you, or, you know, yeah, let's go eat or something or whatever, laugh, have a good time, but it will never get any further than that. It doesn't matter how drunk I am.
Right.
It's just, it becomes a natural thing.
Right.
Like, it's just like, no, you're not him. You're not what I want. Drunk or not, it's not happening. So, I mean, that's just me. But I think that a lot of women make mistakes, and I think that has to do with a lot of self-control too for women, because not a lot of women have self-control either. If a situation presents itself, and trust me, women have a lot of options. I think women have more options than men do.
They do.
And so therefore their discipline should be much more exercised.
I mean, you're talking. It's really on an individual basis.
It is.
At the end of the day, because everybody's thinking is different. Everybody's how their body feels is different.
Yeah.
Everybody processes information different. Everybody goes through social norms different.
Yeah.
So I mean, this would just be speaking in general terms, but it's really hard to kind of dive into every.
Yes, I
last
think
experience.
that a woman can love a man and still cheat.
Yes.
Just
like a man can.
Just like a man.
That's the point that I was trying to get to.
Yes.
That's the point I was trying to get to. I feel like that you can love somebody to death, like literally to death, and still cheat on them. That you don't respect them.
Right. You lose respect.
You don't respect them at all.
Right.
If you cheat on them, but I still think, just based on the context of that question,
Right.
that you could still love somebody and cheat on them.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then, you know, once you've cheated, or once somebody in the relationship has cheated, the test comes. Can our relationship survive this infidelity? Like, because I think that cheating is probably one of the most painful things you endure in relationships, because the trust bond's been broken, and you feel violated. You feel like your whole relationship sometimes has been a lie. Like there's been, you know, times where you're married for 10 years and then all of a sudden you find out your husband has 2 kids and another wife in another state. And you're just like questioning yourself. Like everything has been a lie. So am I wrong about everything? You start questioning all your decisions. You start questioning your level of trust. You start questioning just everything. So once someone's cheated, can you come back from that? Can you forgive somebody and move forward? I think that's the real test.
No, I think everybody that cheats on somebody, they should just get out their relationship. No, I'm serious. I don't think, what's the point? Because it's like, no matter if we move on, if he apologizes 500 billion trillion times, doesn't matter if he cheated 10 years ago. Like, he was capable or she was capable of being in that situation, and it probably could happen again. But in my mind, I could forgive you, but I know me personally, I just couldn't let it go.
Right.
I would always not always think about it, but I would always like have it in the back of my mind. Like it would never leave. It would never leave me. So I feel like if you cheat, the relationship should be over because it's just tainted at that point.
It is. And I think that that's why I said it's the real test. Like I know people who have been in relationships who they've both cheated, and you know, it depends on your level of maturity, and you know, there's so many different things to take in. Like, you know, when you're young, you've got all these hormones, you've got a lot of testosterone, men, you're just kind of out there doing whatever. So sometimes you have to put everything into perspective, right? Is this really the person that you want to be with? Are they really capable of growth? Can we really get past that? I know some people who cheated on each other like the first 5 years of their life, and they're still together and they're still happy. Like they've learned to communicate and they've learned to trust each other. I don't think that it's once a cheater, always a cheater, because in all reality, everybody's capable of it.
Sure.
Everybody's capable of it. You get put in a position and you get to see what your discipline level is. But I think that you can come back from it. I think that people can forgive. Like if the love is there, if you rebuild the foundation, communicate. For me, I think I instill God in every aspect of my life, and when you can build a relationship with your partner on God and just learn to pray together, learn the real meaning of forgiveness, right? Like for me, everything is spiritual, right? God forgave me, so I can forgive you. But then again, there's boundaries, and you really need to pay attention to someone's characteristics. You have to know who you're dealing with and if this is something that you can get past. I don't think that everybody can get past it. Absolutely not. Some people are just those type of people who are always going to cheat. It's who they are. But you can tell if you really pay attention, if you learn who you're dealing with, you know.
I say leave. I say leave the situation in the relationship, and it's only because, and I feel like we have this turn the other cheek forgiveness mentality, and that's why men also cheat a lot. Because we're so conditioned and like, oh, you know, men are just going to be men. I feel like if women start standing their ground, and men too, I feel like if people start standing their ground and being like, cheating is wrong, and if you do it, I'm going to leave it, I'm never coming back. Like, there's no forgiveness, there's no working through it. People are going to slowly stop cheating because they're going to be losing person after person after person. But if we're all like, oh, well, you know, we love each other, let's work it out. Let's get through this.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, okay, well, you know, next time I cheat, you know, all I got to do is like, you know, reach into her forgiveness bag.
Right. I just have to act,
I just have to act like I'm really sorry, and then
buy her flowers, take her to dinner, get her a Gucci bag, whatever it is. Yeah. No, I understand that, and that's why I said like you really gotta understand who it is that you're dealing with. Like, are they really capable of change? You gotta trust people's actions and not just their words, and they have to really be consistent.
Even if they do change, it's just a lesson learned. Like, you
yeah,
shouldn't have
and
done
that's true. Sometimes you just gotta chalk it up to a lesson and keep it pushing.
Yep. If you lose me, if you love me and you cheat on me, and I was the love of your life, and you lost me, and I wasn't gonna give you another chance, hopefully that makes you a better man for the next woman that you're going to be with, to know,
Right.
like, if I did this to one woman and she wasn't playing no games, I'm not going to do it to the next person. Like, because
Right.
I feel like if you're with girl after girl after girl after girl, and they all forgive you for cheating, it's like, where is the consequences? Where's the lesson? Where
No,
is
you're
the
absolutely
responsibility, the accountability for your actions? You don't have any.
And I think for men, sometimes that's what it takes. It takes them to lose the woman that they actually really loved, for them to take a step back and be like, dang, like, I really lost her and she ain't taking me back.
No.
Like, you know, I know some people personally who are just like, damn, I really messed up with that girl. She could have been amazing, but I messed it up. And that's the lesson that they always go back to.
Because I don't think I've ever forgiven anybody for cheating. Like, I let them know straight up. Like, when we're talking, getting to know each other, asking 21 questions, dates, all that. Like, this is my boundary, and if you cross it, it's over. It's no, like, it was a mistake. It was no
Right.
this. There was no that. Like, it's over. It's done. I'm not calling the other woman to see what happened or nothing like that.
Right.
I'm not fighting no other girl for no man. Like, you cheat, you made that decision, and then
Right.
it's just done. It's over.
Yeah.
And I don't go back. Like, there's more men in the sea. I mean, there's billions of men on Earth. Billions. There's no point in just keep running it back to, you know,
This is true.
fix every bad situation. Like,
I
no.
agree. I agree.
Everything is not for you.
I agree.
Everything is not for you.
Everything's not for you, and everything isn't fixable.
Nope. And don't block your blessings. Staying with somebody, letting loyalty keep you in places that you don't belong. And you probably could be missing out on your real husband because you're trying to forgive somebody for cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
put you first. Like, put you first always.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I think that's the first part of being in a healthy relationship, is you got to love you 1st.
Always put you first.
Yep. And if somebody else could do that too, then that's great.
Put you first and put your kids first, because you're always going to be there and your kids are always going to be there. Men come and go, women come and go. So,
Facts.
and God. Those three things, you put those three things first, the person that's for you will be for you.
Right.
So,
So have you been cheated on?
of course. Of course.
I've been cheated on too, and it's the worst thing. But what are some signs that you've seen that were tall tale signs, like, yo, this dude is really cheating, like, that just really kind of got that antenna? Because, you know, women, we get that little gut feeling like, oh,
I think we
something's
just
up.
have a natural intuition. I think every woman has it.
Yeah.
I think every woman knows that their man is cheating. They just don't believe. They just don't want to believe it, or they be in denial, or they think they're overthinking things, and it
Right.
really be the truth. Like,
Right.
your body is telling you what's really going on, but I don't know. We just ignore it because we don't want to believe it. So definitely, that was a telltale sign. I told myself it was cheating. It was me.
This
And
is
it
true.
really be exactly what I be overthinking, or like thinking maybe, oh, he's not doing or things that I'm really unsure about. That really be the truth. It just be, I just don't want to like really fuck up what
But we
got
have to
going
see
on.
for ourselves, and like, we gotta know that it's the truth. We can't just trust ourselves all the
Right,
time.
and that's how you end up finding out that they cheat, though.
Yeah,
because you
that's
start
true.
with the intuition, and then you get the proof, and then that's when you're hurt.
Right.
But you knew, I bet you, 99% of women knew that their man was cheating, or like there was a suspicion of cheating before they actually found out their man was cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
Before
I
they
think
even
women know.
Before they got
Men-
the proof. Before
Any
they got
men
the proof,
who
they
are
know.
watching, what are your guys' signs? What do you guys see from women that that are signs that they're cheating on you? For me, I think it's the energy shift.
Yeah,
like they're not
distance,
as right. They start to distance themselves. They start to pull away.
They don't
The
answer your calls as
conversation,
much. Text
yeah, the
messages
conversation
shorter.
gets dull. It's like they.
They go into bed early.
Right.
You can never go to their houses, stuff like that.
Right, or you know, you put your shoulder on them at night, and they just kind of.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't never had that. Because I'll pack bags and get to going. You don't gotta tell me twice.
There's like, I don't think there's really a time when a guy can be like, I'm tired. Like, Not really. I mean, not unless he's like a really, really hard worker, like those guys who get up at 2 a.m. and they go and they're doing construction work all day long, and then they get home and they're just like tending to the kids, tending to you, and then, you know, it's time for bed and they're just like, I can't even do it tonight. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, because for me, I feel I'm like a zero tolerance person. Like, as soon as I feel like you're like that, I just want to just end the relationship. Because I feel like I don't want to feel like I got to force myself on you. Like, I want to feel wanted. And if I don't feel like I'm wanted, I'm like, why am I even here?
No, and
like,
that's true too.
I really don't, I don't like to force myself on anybody.
Right.
I don't like to beg for attention. I don't like to call 3, 4, 5 times. I don't like to text you over and over. Like, if you want to do it, you're going to do it. If you don't, you don't. If you don't do it, someone else will do it. So and it's like, time is, you only get X amount of years once you're born. It's the day you take your first breath, you got your X amount of years. However you decide to spend your time is how you spend your time. But you will never get that time back. So if you want to take 10 of those years crying and chasing somebody, then you'll never get those 10 years back.
Facts. This is why I talk to her. Because she be telling me, like, for real, Jen, listen.
it's time will never come. When you're on your deathbed, that's it. You cannot go back. You won't come back. You just that's just going to be the end of it. So what you do with your time is what you do with it.
I agree. And I'm definitely one of those people, too, is, like, allow people to be who they are so that you can see what they would rather do than what you want them to do. You can't change somebody to be everything that you want them to be, because once you start trying to change people, it's like that's where the kind of the conflict goes, because you're not allowing that person to be who they really are with you. And when you try to change somebody, it's like you're trying to mold them into what you need them to be instead of who they really are. And then conflict starts arising. You guys aren't getting along. It's just a disconnect starts happening. So allow people to be who they are to you, and just taking that for the truth, because that's really what it is. And I feel like I do that a lot with people. Like, you just allow people to be who they are. And then when you see what they do and how they treat you and what types of things that they're capable of when dealing with you, then that's what you need to take for truth. That's why I think courtship is so important. I really, really do, because I feel like people jump into relationships so quick. They're all about possessiveness and, oh, you're mine and I'm yours and this is our title and things like that. I think that you should date somebody and build a foundation upon a friendship, like a real connection. Like, are we really, connecting like that? Are we really able to go through things, and do we really see eye to eye, or is it just an infatuation? Because I think infatuation over a period of time, it ends up going away, and then you get to see, are we really good together?
So for somebody that has been on a lot of dates before I'm in the current situation that I'm in now, I used to date a lot, and I picked up a lot of gems. So I'm just going to give you some tips on dating really quick, since we're talking about that, courting and everything. So when you're getting to know a man and you guys are conversating back and forth, I think the biggest mistake that women make, and men try to get you every time with this, is they ask you what type of man you're looking for. Like,
don't tell him.
What type of man are you looking for?
Because then they'll be exactly what you want.
Do not tell him the type of man you're looking for. Just say, I'm going with the flow. Like, I'll know what I like when I see him, that type of stuff. Because as soon as you tell a man exactly what you're looking for,
if he's a game player,
I gotta be exactly like that to get with her. And then also telling men your past traumas.
Yes.
Telling men your past traumas is like the worst thing you can do. I don't care if he's the most easiest person to talk to. Because I feel like if you start telling people your past traumas, unless you guys like in a serious relationship and you guys already passed all that dating stuff, then you can start opening up about that type of stuff. But not on the first date. Oh, I'm single because I keep getting cheated on. Well, they can well, damn, she's an easy target. Like, if everybody could cheat on her, I could do it too.
Right.
And
she must be
dumb somewhere. Something's not going right. But just, I don't know, just be observant. Like, trust your gut always. If it don't seem right, more than likely it's not right. Just really be vigilant and protect yourself, because people are very crafty.
Yes.
They are very crafty. They will be everything you want and more for a good 2 months, 3 months to where you are like head over heels, and then they start acting a fool.
Right.
So you gotta be very vigilant, and yes, definitely court.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
She did it right. She got a long distance relationship, so they had to
It was
really
nothing
get
but
to know each other.
communication. Yeah, a lot of communication, and that really helps. I feel like long distance relationships last a lot longer than relationships
because
that
it's
just
not
meet.
about the sex in the beginning.
Because
I think
you literally
you're really
have
connecting.
to connect with that person,
Yeah.
talk with that person, and then you get this build up to when you guys are first gonna meet and stuff like that.
Right.
But y'all been talking for hella long, so
Right.
you know everything about that person before you even lay a hand on them, before you
And
even
then when
kiss
you
them.
lay a hand on
So
them,
it's like
woo!
perfect. So it ends up working out really good. If you guys have a strong level of trust, that's
Right.
the only way that, you know, long distance relationship work. It takes a lot of trust. But yeah, those would be my tips on dating, and just be you. Don't try to impress no man. Don't try to impress no woman. Like men especially, don't try to impress no woman. If I know, like, we're in the ages right now where you got to have money to, you know, be that guy. Like, don't even do that. Just be you.
Just
Because
be
there's some
you.
women out there that really do not care about your financial situation. As long as you can take care of yourself and you're not like needy, like you want, I need. There's a lot of women that will literally take a really good man that's not all like balling
Right.
over these rich dudes that will treat you like shit. So just be yourself. Don't try to
Facts.
be anybody you're not.
Yep. So men cheat, women cheat. There's tall tale signs. You just really gotta be intuitive, be in tune with yourself, really communicate and connect with the person that you deal with, so that when things do start to change, then you know you see that and you can address it before things even happen. And sometimes when you guys can have conversations that are open and transparent, you guys can mutually decide that, you know what, this isn't working for me, and before I go out and break your heart, I'm gonna go on ahead and let you go because this isn't working for me.
Right. It is what it is. Like, life is short. It is what it is. Like, we shouldn't be breaking our necks. For real. Like,
Facts.
life is way too short. But so many people are saying stuff. Sorry if my big head is in the way. Oh, somebody wants to take you out to dinner, Jennifer.
Oh, that's so sweet. I appreciate that.
Self-love comes first before you can give love to anybody else.
Absolutely. That's why I focus on personal growth and self-development within myself. I can just say that personally, you know, I was in toxic relationships and I was not in good relationships. And then, you know, after leaving them and deciding that I wanted to focus on me and really love who I am and become the woman that I'm supposed to be, like, I don't just accept anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've been single for what, 5 years now? And I'm pretty comfortable this way. I'm pretty comfortable. So unless you can really add to something or add to me or add value to my life, like, I'm not looking for anything from anybody because I'm already fulfilled by myself. So when you love yourself,
You're happy by yourself.
you're happy by
with
yourself.
your own
You're
company.
content. And so then when someone comes in and they disturb that peace, it's easier to let go. Pretty easy.
Because then you'll get like zero tolerance like me. Like, I love my personal
She
space.
does.
I will be at home for 6 months by myself and I don't even care.
She does. I had to come over here and just, I'm coming over.
Yeah.
So Jazzy, I love you, girl. Thank you so much for doing this podcast with me.
Of course. Hopefully I was saying some things that could help some people out there. This is just based on my own experiences in life. So if I could go through the pain for you and try to give you my perspective on how things turned out and what I would have did differently to help the next woman, then hey.
Right. Well, there's no testimony without a test. And I think we've all been tested. Men and women get cheated on all the time. So I hope that you guys were able to take something from this dialogue, from this conversation, to where you can take a look at your own life and just really find areas where you can grow. I mean, if you're a cheater, if you think somebody's cheating, like, really take this conversation and grow. And if you guys know somebody who can benefit from this conversation, share the video. And don't forget, you guys, to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Apple Podcasts. More will be coming. Again, I do these podcasts so that we can grow, so that we can start to think on our own and just become our beautiful selves. The podcast is called Beautifully You. So I appreciate you guys for hopping on today. I appreciate all the input, the comments. I love you guys to life. Have an amazing Sunday. Peace.
Get tested too. Very important.
Get tested.
Tested.